Older songs are generally better for church music than newer songs. Does that mean I always lead older songs? No. But before I choose to go away from older songs, I have to contend with three really important reasons. Let me give them to you if you are thinking through choosing music for your church. Reason number one to pick older songs is that they are more familiar to your congregation for singing, and they're more familiar to your team that's playing them. You know, I am a musician. I love to pick music that's really fun and fresh and exciting to play. But the primary reason to choose music on a Sunday morning is not artistic expression. I love artistic expression, but that's not like the preeminent goal with your song choices. Songs are functioning as a vehicle for the congregation to declare the worth and works of God. They're vehicles to proclaim the gospel, to review the creed, to celebrate Christ's salvation, to encourage brothers and sisters in Christ, and to declare commitment to follow him. Like, this vehicle is really important that it be accessible. And so if a song is familiar, it just lowers the barrier of entry. The barrier of entry to sing a song should be low. The barrier of entry for your music team to play a song should be low enough that you can have a robust team that plays with a lot of confidence. So, reason number one to choose older songs is they're familiar. Familiar for singers, familiar for your players. That's a solid reason. If you're going to go away from picking older songs, you need to contend with that issue of familiarity. Now, there is a con to that reason. Familiarity can breed contempt. People's eyes can glaze over. They can miss the beauty, the substance, the riches, the depth of an old familiar song. So we need to deal with that as well, but that's not what I'm focusing on right here. Okay, reason number two that you might prefer to choose older songs for your congregation, it has to do with the fact that older songs have been pre-filtered by time. So think of a Brita pitcher of water, and you pour the water in, and it takes some time for that to filter through. Or I have a well outside, and they call it young water. It's not a very deep well, and the water that's filtered through is maybe only 30 years old. But you go to a deep, deep, deep well, and you pull water that has been filtering through for hundreds of years. When I say your songs that are older are pre-filtered, what I mean is we have kept the best of the best of the best songs. When I was in high school, I wrote a song a week. I would play it, and every week it was the best song I'd ever written, like genuinely. But after writing hundreds of songs in my freshman year in college, I filtered all those songs, hundreds of songs, down to my favorite 10, my very best 10 songs. In my freshman year in college, I made an album, recorded those 10 songs, and today, 20 years later, I look back at those 10 songs, filtered down from hundreds, and none of them are any good. Which makes sense. I was young and not a great songwriter. Over the years, what I'm trying to say is, Isaac Watts published over 700 hymns. And they're probably all great, but we only sing When I Survey and Joy to the World. Because we've filtered the very best of the best, or at least the ones that have spoken to multiple generations. John Newton, he wrote nearly 300 hymns. We sing Amazing Grace. Fanny Crosby wrote hundreds of hymns. We sing Blessed Assurance. And I'm not saying those other songs weren't great, but what time has done, time has allowed us to filter out those songs that did not speak across generations. Not every song is for every generation. And so playing old songs allows you to pick the best of the best songs from multiple generations. So when people say old songs have better theology or they're better music, I do push back on that and say, well, it's not so much that they're inherently better because they're old. There are a lot of duds. There are a lot of songs that aren't great that were written over the last several hundred years. It's just those songs got filtered out. And of the songs being played these days, I often ask myself the question, of the thousands of songs that come out every year, that are being presented to churches and Christian listeners, how many of these songs will stand the test of time? If I'm going to put words in my congregation's mouth, will those words nourish them for decades? Will they carry them through loss and through grief? Will they sing those words when they've gotten dementia and they've lost their memory? It's the songs that linger. I have sat at the bedside of my grandmother and we've sung Amazing Grace. I sat at Catherine's grandmother's side just, a couple Christmases ago, and she was losing her memory, but we could sing those Christmas songs. We could sing Silent Night together. We could sing Joy to the World. We could sing those rich songs of the faith. So reason number 2 that old songs are better for your congregation is that they've been pre-filtered by time. We have the songs that have spoken across multiple generations. And, we have 500 years of music, of music in English for Christian congregations. We can't learn it all. We shouldn't try to learn it all. So we pare it down to that tiny percentage of songs that has spoken across generations. All right, reason number 3 that old songs are generally better for congregations. Reason number 3 is a reason that I call heart songs. Heart songs are these songs where the Lord has met you in a song. This has been a formative moment, and the song has become more than a song. So what I mean when I say songs become more than songs, if you're singing a song, if it's got a lot of substance to it, if it's been pre-filtered by time and it's the best of the best, and it's being really used in a robust way in services in the midst of the congregation where the word is spoken, where worship is happening, then these heart songs are songs where the Lord meets people in the midst of the song or in the midst of the service. So a lot of people can tell you about singing Amazing Grace in their childhood faith, or When I Survey might be the moment that the reality of the cross really struck their heart. Someone was telling me that every time they sing Great Is Thy Faithfulness, they remember their grandfather's funeral. Holy, 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 where the triune God reveals his character to you. What's happening is these songs become like landmarks, or like the Ebenezer stone that the Israelites would set up. We go to them again and again, and we retell the stories of how God met us in those moments in the past. And these moments are not just for us. They're not just our generation. My mom's favorite songs are Be Thou My Vision and Come Thou Fount. So at a young age, I knew they mattered to her even before I really saw the richness in those songs. So they mattered to me. I knew that my mom loved them, and I found the beauty in them as well. They became some of my favorite prayers to start a congregation, start a service with those songs. Lord, be my vision, or Lord, come thou fount of every blessing. So we revisit those stories, we revisit those songs, and again, it's not because the songs are holy. They are not the holy ground, but they become the arena in which God has met us. It's where his presence has visited multiple generations. If you just deal with the songs that have spoken to your generation, you're missing the connection to the great cloud of witnesses that's revealed, that Hebrews talks about. So older songs are generally better because they connect the dots across decades of spiritual journeys. These heart songs anchor us to generations of Jesus followers, and they remind us of the God who started a work and give confidence that he will complete that work. So 3 reasons that older songs are generally better. Do I always lead old songs? No, but I have to contend with the question, how will I make this song super familiar? How will I lower the barrier of entry? I have to contend with the question, have they been pre-filtered by time? No, they have not. So I have to be really discerning about whether songs will hold up over time. I have to really check the substance of the songs. And then number 3, It remains to be seen whether a new song will become the space where God meets his people and stirs them up in the faith. That is sort of like the question is out. Will that be something that God does for more than just this generation of listeners? We'll see. So contend with those three things and choose your music for your congregations.